whenever we're asked to square a number, what we're being asked is to multiply it by itself. So when we say 1 squared, it actually means 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. 2 squared, 2 times 2. 2 2s are 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4, 16. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36. 7 7s are 49. 8 8s, 64. 9 9s are 81. And 10 times 10 is 100. Now you should know these squares. You should also know how to use a calculator to work out a squared number. So if you look here on the calculator, there's the squared button. So if we wanted to work out what 12 squared was, we type 12, press the squared button, 12 squared equals 144. Now what we've got to be careful of, especially when using the calculator, is something like -2 squared. -2 times -2, -2 times -2. So whenever you've got a negative times a negative, it makes a positive. So -2 times -2 should give us positive 4. On the calculator, if you type -2 squared, it gives you an answer of -4. That's because it thinks you mean take away 2 squared. So what you've actually got to do is write the -2 in brackets, then press squared, and that gives you the answer of 4. So when we've got a cube, it's like a square. So where a square is times by itself, a cube is times by itself, and then again. So 1 cubed means 1 times 1 times 1. So that's 1. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And then 9 times 3 is 27. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5 is 125. You should know these first 5 cube numbers. Okay, so the opposite of squaring or cubing is rooting. So the opposite of squaring is called a square root, and the opposite of cubing is called a cube root. So exactly the same but backwards. So the square root of 1 means what number times itself makes 1. So we go back to our answer before. What number times itself makes 4? 2 times 2 makes 4. What number times itself makes 9? 3. And so on. The same as a cube root. What number times itself and times itself again gives us 1? Well, that's 1 times 1 times 1. The cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of 27 is 3. Cube root of 64 is 4. And the cube root of 125 is 5. You can also find these buttons on the calculator. So if I want to square root something, press the square root button, and square root of 144 brings me back to 12. If I want to cube root something, that's above the square root. So let's press shift, cube root, and if I type in 125, it should give me the answer of 5.